Thank you, guys. Rachel could not have fucked me more on this, by the way, to be like, oh, yeah, we're not going to hear from the tech sponsors except for the opening keynote from Gina. So, cheers, Rachel. I promise we're going to talk about stuff that's way more interesting than me pitching Klaviyo to you all. If we haven't met, please come say hi. I only bite if you ask me to. Gina Potenza, I run on our partnerships team. We actually have a team that is dedicated to our partner program, the enablement and the strategy of how we help you all grow and make more money by using Klaviyo. I'm the strategy part of that team, and it's a very cool and very unique approach that Klaviyo takes, where like, literally, my job is to sit there and think about, okay, why do our partners care about this, and how does it make you all more money? So, get ready, strap in, you're gonna get some of the like, here's what's in my brain and here's what I've been thinking about. There's a screen here, but the screen's so much bigger. It's definitely a shiny object thing. I wanna look at the big screen. So, for those of you who don't know, in February, Klaviyo launched a new positioning for ourselves, which is that we are the only CRM built for B2C. It's a lot of acronyms, it's alphabet soup. But keep in mind that customer relationship management does not mean the place where you log phone calls to prospects, right? Customer relationship management is really, when you think about those consumer relationships, how brands are interacting and building relationships with their clients and customers. So, it's me again, in case you don't know what my face looks like. So the goal for today is actually you all taking a deep dive into why we're pretty committed and have very high conviction that there is a high opportunity for CRM and B2C CRM for the agency market writ large. So we're really gonna talk about what does that market look like, what is the opportunity for innovation, and then some takeaways of what this all means and how you all can go make more money. Who here likes making more money? Yeah. Also, I have to say, it also driving really good client results and outcomes, woo, but like money, right? It's what we're here for. So we're gonna talk about what does it mean, what does market maturity mean, what is one of the innovation theories, this idea of the S-curves of innovation, and then how that actually fits into the e-commerce agency space. I promise, sounds dry and academic, but like, it'll only be a little dry and academic. And then actually, what does it all mean for you, and how can we help you all build an innovation plan? So, market maturity. We really think about indicators in a market. We're all in many different markets, right? But how do you actually track? What does it mean to be in a mature market? And there's a few key indicators that a market has reached maturity. The first is saturation. So we've actually got a market that has a lot of providers offering a pretty similar product, right? There's not very high differentiation, which is actually to do with point 2, which is commodification, where the main way that you differentiate is on price, because the product all looks and feels pretty similar. And then we also start to see consolidation and major players actually merging in the space. If that sounds familiar to a market that you all are in, it's intentional. Because what we're seeing is there's really high saturation in the e-commerce agency market, right? There's 20,000 Klaviyo agencies. Like, that's crazy. We're a big player in the space, but we know we don't have the full segment of all the different agencies that work with e-commerce companies. We're seeing an enormous rise in freelance lifecycle marketing work, this idea of bringing marketing in-house for brands, and differentiation purely based on price. Like, I will eat one of those leather hats, that looks like a lot of chewing, but I'll commit to it, if every single one of you hasn't had someone come in and try to steal a client based on like, we'll do 40 emails a month for $500, right? Like, we all know it. I'm not eating a leather hat. No one try to mess with me here. Oh, hang on, I missed one. Can I go back? Well, I don't know how to go back. The last one is consolidation, right? We're seeing it in the space, like domain, the creation of domain last year, the creation of eHouse, those mergers, like it's very much happening. So, okay, we know what a mature market is, and we're all living in one. Oh, now it jumps back. I'll go fuck myself, that's fine. But what does that actually mean, and how does that fit into this concept of a market maturing. How do we get to maturity? And it's really important to keep in mind that market maturity is not a straight line. For anyone who like took an economics class at any point in their lives, like we know what a demand and supply curve looks like. That's not how innovation actually proliferates in a market. We know that the adoption of innovations is really non-linear. And we see it at first as kind of slow. Think about like how much were we talking about ChatGPT and not using it in 2023 when it came out versus how many of us on the daily are asking ChatGPT questions. And what it actually looks like in the context of innovation in a market is a kind of flattened out S, a stretched out S. So we have, when it first starts, we've got this idea of solution search, where a market needs a solution. The way that I learned this and conceptualize this is in a world of vinyls. I'm too young to ever used a vinyl, I know, but there are people in this room, you guys used vinyl records. I'm also not cool enough to have a record player now, but I like that people are. But so, right, in a world of vinyls, there's a bunch of issues, it's really limited, the sound quality is not very high, they're really fragile. And the market starts searching for solutions. And then we start getting things in the proof of concept. So we have Walkmans, but we also have 8-track cassette players, right? There's this variety of solutions. And then the market picks a winner, right? We actually then saw like audio cassettes really take off. And then we saw consolidation and then maturation in the space. And then what ended up happening is, oh, what comes next, right? And that's how we actually see S-curves stack together. We hit that point of maturity, so we have those cassettes, and then we have CDs. And then, you know, Steve Jobs gets on stage and is like, but what if you can have 1,000 songs in your pocket? And iTunes, which like, how crazy is it that 1,000 songs seem like an insane amount to have? But that's that idea, right? We start seeing that similarity of S-curves that stack together. So if we look at the agency marketplace, we're still talking about agencies, I know we got diverted talking about music, it was fun. But what we see is that at first, many agencies actually started out as development or digital marketing shops. And then the Shopify Experts program, right, this evolution of e-commerce shops and specialization. And then we actually saw the rise of lifecycle marketing retainers, right? And that's like lifecycle marketing, email marketing, retention marketing, right? We can all say a lot of different words that mean a really similar thing. But that's where we're seeing that we are hitting the point of that flat line, that maturation, right? We need the next S-curve, because otherwise, to be fair, if you all want to fight me on this, and you all are really excited to be in a land of commodification, competing on price, doing what you're doing today, amazing. I'm not going to fight you. This is a really cool opportunity for those of you who want to come along in the journey and innovate with us and create the next S-curve. Let's talk about what that looks like. If not, great, I'm glad. Like, keep offering email services, you know, that'll keep being agencies that are undercutting you, and we can have a separate conversation about what it looks like when AI agents can create your emails, right, and what your business looks like. There's a real impetus for change, and what we would argue the problem is, and the opportunity for that change, is the fact that, like, the commerce stack is pretty neat, right? There's a few different providers, right? Shopify being one of them, but there's a whole host of other commerce providers, but everything connects really neatly. And then the B2C tech stack that complements and where we actually run those customer relationships are an absolute mess. We're like, raise your hand if you have 2 clients that are doing very similar things and have very different tech stacks, right? And you are logged into 10 tabs to try to manage things for them. I'm serious, raise your hands. How many of you is this a world for? Right, and it's like, you go on Twitter and there's like 50 different takes of what is the perfect tech stack to run your e-commerce business. It's a mess, right? That's not an efficient system, and it means that we're really living in this web of data silos and all the different problems of, like, I'm preaching to the choir. It sucks to be logged into 15 different tools and try to track your results, right, and actually execute a strategy. No one's having fun doing that. And really importantly, it also undervalues the results that you all are delivering for clients, because customers are shopping for point solutions, right? Clients are shopping for tech point solutions that solve a very narrow specific problem. They buy each of those tools in a silo, and then the services that actually support that tool, right? They're looking at email services, SMS services, loyalty services. They're really siloed as to how they're looking at services, which means that the results, they're not looking at the holistic strategy that you are driving. They are not paying you for your brains. Rachel loves talking about this, and I stole it from her, but like, they are not paying you for your brains. They're paying you for your hands and the execution. And that is not sustainable, and that is not the way to grow. Our solution to that tangled mess is Klaviyo being the customer relationship management for B2C companies. So I gave the example, right? We all know what a CRM is from the context of the Salesforce and the HubSpots of like, Klaviyo's a B2B business. Our sales reps use Salesforce because they are one human interacting with another human, driving action, and then actually going and logging those activities. In B2C land, we're looking at that at much higher scale where marketers own driving that revenue, right? You're not selling one human to one human. And that is what Klaviyo is really built for, because we are built on the Klaviyo data platform to handle huge volumes of data that powers AI outcomes. And then you can use all the different component parts of Klaviyo, right? Our marketing, our analytics, our service products. But what's really important is thinking about the holistic strategy that you're driving actually coming off of one data foundation. That's the key takeaway, and that's the opportunity. So that's Klaviyo's spiel, right? We're like really committed to B2C CRM, right? We're into it. We rang the bell at the New York Stock Exchange with this new slogan. Like, we're not messing around, but why do you all care, right, is the reality. And what it is this is it. This is our bet that like there's gonna be this little, right, if you think about the S-curve, we're flattened out right here. We're gonna have the slow, gradual approach of like, I've had conversations with you all where you've said that like, hey, clients aren't asking for CRM services. Like, we're not there yet. And yeah, they're not, but we know that mid-market companies, the folks who are leading their Klaviyo practices are actually called CRM managers, right? It's there, and yeah, come along, like we're educating the market and we're doing category creation where you can repackage your services, reposition the work that you're doing to actually earn based on the impact that you're having for brands, not based on the execution, right? It's not about the individual messages. It is about the outcomes that you are driving because of the holistic strategy and like the actually really hard part of your jobs, right? If I told you all that like, hey, tomorrow, all you need to do is write 10 emails. Like every single person in this room would be like, all right, dope, sounds good. The hard part is how do they fit into the strategy? How are they driving the outcomes? How are they big picture aligned to the brand messaging of who you're working with, right? That's the part we want you to get paid for, not the you're writing emails, not the like you're creating a flow, right? That's not the hard part. The hard part is everything that's behind it. And what we're finding is that there's some really core categories that keep coming up. Things like brands thinking about their consumer journeys, thinking about brand loyalty and the value that they're driving, right? What we're really finding is, it's interesting, this is a little bit of a tangent, it's not on my speaker notes, but we did our like brand, big sentiment, right, 2025 trend report, and it was wild. What we're finding is consumers are actually looking at reviews, quality, and like user-generated content over discounts as their purchase decision, right? Quality really matters, and the relationship that they have with brands really matters. And then customer experience and personalization. This is like, I say this every time I'm on stage, but I bought a bed, right? Just like a bed set. And then for 6 months, this company followed me around the internet showing me the same bed set. And it's like, I live in a condo in Boston. How many bed sets do you think I could possibly be buying? It was so silly, right? And instead of wasting that money having horrible ROAS, why aren't you showing me nightstands, coffee tables, mattresses? Or like I get emails about men's clothing. Like I don't buy men's clothing, right? Why the expectation from consumers is rising that there's more of an awareness that like, hey, we're giving you data. We expect personalization in exchange for it. What I will say is that none of this should sound profound. All of it should feel like, yeah, you're not along of like, yeah, this is all the things that we consider when we're building our strategies for clients. Right, we want you to get paid on that. Like, yes, confirmed. That's why we want to talk about CRM services that cover things like data unification and activation strategy, advanced reporting and analytics, omni-channel orchestration, customer journey automation. AI optimization strategy. Literally, I think legally I'm not allowed to get on stage or not say AI twice, so just for the record, tick that box. Nailed it. And then customer service experience design. The key takeaway that I want you all to feel from this is that this isn't scary. This isn't that different than what you're already doing for your clients. It's educating your clients to think about the value that you provide differently rather than dramatically overhauling your day-to-day and the work you're doing. Again, it's really reshifting the focus to, hey, what value are we driving for you? What are the outcomes? So for that innovation planning, we've got a bunch of resources for you. We have a CRM services audit guide of you can actually go through it and get a sense of what are we missing to talk about ourselves as doing customer relationship management services? We have a CRM agency playbook, so basically if me speed talking for 20 minutes isn't enough for you to fully wrap your head around it, we've got a whole heck of a lot of content and a lot of the why and the what does it actually look like. We've got our Klaviyo Partner Days coming up in June, of course. Come hang out with us. We're all over the US, and we've got global events as well if you're not US based. Also not on this slide, you're getting an early preview. We actually have a packaging and pricing guide coming soon where it literally is, what does it mean to deliver a CRM retainer where there is going to be entry level, no one likes seeing basic, so entry level, intermediate, advanced. What the key is and the key takeaway of that guide, and please come talk to me about it. I'll give you early previews. We're in the phase of collecting feedback on it. You're all likely already delivering at a minimum entry level, if not intermediate of those, and there's just an opportunity to charge more for it. So that's what I got for you. Come ask me questions, debate me on this, if you disagree. I'm very into it. But thanks for having me. Thanks for listening to me soliloquize, and looking forward to debating with you all. Let's go make more money.